Now, Innovation Group South Africa released its Automotive Future Now Report 2016, which investigates and unpacks the global and local trends impacting the automotive industry here in South Africa. Furthermore, the report speaks on how the industry is entering into an era of unprecedented changes, especially in terms of digital disruption as a major trend for the future. Now, to further unpack the report, we are very pleased to be joined in studio by Mr. Ricardo Coetzee. He's the Managing Executive for Automotive at the Innovation Group South Africa. Ricardo, welcome to you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Alicia.
All right. Now, Ricardo, looking at the current economic climax, what are the potential opportunities it represents, and how do we then as a country overcome these threats to potential growth?
Very important. Under difficult economic conditions, we've got low GDP growth, we've got devaluation of the rand, and of course lowest vehicle sales in our industry. So under these difficult circumstances, consumers' spending has obviously dropped. One of the key things that we see is how the resilient economy is that some of the consumers will then change their buying behavior. For example, instead of buying new vehicles, we see a lot of consumers holding on to their vehicles longer to try and cut costs. Very important also, people don't buy new vehicles. What they do now, we see a big growth in terms of the pre-owned vehicles. Pre-owned vehicles, I mean, the motor manufacturers invested heavily in terms of the quality of their vehicles. So people feel more comfortable these days to actually go and purchase a pre-owned vehicle. On top of that, you just have to ensure that they have the necessary warranty and maintenance plan supporting that. So although there's huge challenges in terms of the economic condition, consumers and especially the motor industry do have alternatives for consumers to ensure they still get into their favorite car.
So it's very bad news specifically for the new vehicle sales industry.
Yes, definitely. We've seen I think compare year on year, the new vehicle sales is down about 10%. And will that continue? Yes, I think unless there's a major change in the economy going forward, we will see that pressure on consumers. Also, one of the key things is that the banks or financial houses start looking at alternative finance models, because to make it more affordable for consumers. And there's even discussion in terms of, do you need to own a vehicle, or is the alternative then leasing or renting those kind of vehicles? Also, our report points out there's also a new trend that we call new mobility solutions,
which is
where consumers saying, do I really want to have access to a car, but I don't want to own a vehicle? Meaning that if you look at the success of Uber and there's other car share platforms again, where consumers want to have the ability to be mobile, but are considering other opportunities. So although on the one side there's pressure in terms of new vehicle sales, that pressure opens up opportunities for entrepreneurs and very creative people on the other side to fulfill the needs for consumers.
But now, Ricardo, look, how investment does in Africa, particularly here in South Africa, actually affects the automotive industry. How does South Africa then remain a competitive investment destination for automotive manufacturing as we speak of possible downgrades in terms of ratings?
I think in discussion in the report, we point out, discussing with motor manufacturers, South Africa is still the springboard for new vehicle development, the new vehicles up in Africa. Obviously, the growth may not necessarily come from South Africa due to our economic condition, but up north, there's huge growth opportunities. For example, a country like Kenya, we've seen a 20% year-on-year growth in terms of their new vehicle sales.
Wow.
So South Africa as a manufacturer is still the hub. Although and exporting of vehicles up north, this is where we see, and some of the manufacturers, this is where the growth will come from in the near future for the industry.
All right, if you can just close very quickly, Ricardo, I know we're out of time, talking about the trends that are causing a shift in focus from the product to the consumer. How are these trends forcing the automotive industry to now change its focus, to reinvent itself, to put consumers first?
Definitely. If you look at technology, the major impact in technology, to give you a quick example, many years ago, if you purchase a vehicle, you'll have to go visit the motor dealer, check your vehicle out, compare prices. What we've seen now with the internet, all of these research happening online. So one of the major changes and threats to the industry is where consumers actually do their research online, and by the time they'll go to a motor dealer to actually purchase the vehicle, they've done their homework already. It's only about closing the deal, so to speak.
You just go collect your car.
You just go collect your car. So the question is, are we moving towards what they call in other territories virtual dealerships? Yes. If that's the case, it will have a huge impact in the current infrastructure for motor dealers as we know motor dealers in its current state.
Can we get access to that report?
Yes,
Ricardo?
we definitely. You can go onto the innovation website and you can download the Future Now report there and all the information there for you.
Ricardo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Alicia. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Mr. Ricardo Coetzee, Managing Executive for Automotive at the Innovation Group South Africa. Still to come.